so I could learn about writing and because I really like writing. At the beginning, we were told that we had to benefit others in our project, so I decided to send any earning proceeds I made to the Milo Foundation. I picked this foundation because I know people that have volunteered there, including my sister, and they're a no-kill shelter, which are actually hard to find these days, and I just really like what they stand for, and I really like animals, so yeah. A big chunk of this whole project was a huge research report. So for that, I took that opportunity to decide the differences and which one I was going to use, self or traditional publishing. Traditional publishing seems to take a really long time. It can take up to like 7 years just going back and forth with an author and their company, telling them what to change, what to do, and I just knew I wouldn't have that much time in my project. It was going to be close cut anyway, so I decided to go with self-publishing, specifically the Amazon publishing service. And I did this because it was a one-click program and I kind of explored it. I actually went on and I looked at all the steps and I figured out that I could do it and it seemed easy and fast. So yeah, that was kind of what I decided to do. But I also researched how long it takes to write a novel. And I researched a bunch of different authors, like Suzanne Collins, the author of the Hunger Games. It took her 2 years just for the writing of the first Hunger Games book, not even starting the publishing process. And J.K. Rowling, the author of my favorite series, it took her 17 years to write and publish the first Harry Potter book, which is a really long time. So I just thought that I might not be able to do it by the end of the year, but that doesn't mean that I would give up, because, I mean, who cares if I don't finish it at the end of the year? I was still going to work on it, and I was still going to do it. It doesn't really matter if I don't finish it yet. So, I just kept on writing, and that was probably the main portion of the whole project, was really just working on it. And it took a while, and I did weekly updates on the blog, like that we had to, and so I just really worked on it, and I could see the finish line in my future. I was really close to doing it, and I was really proud of myself because I wrote a lot, and it was hard, but I powered through it. But then, during spring break, it was Wednesday, April 16th, and my book was deleted off of Google Docs. And so I was basically back at square one, and I had no idea what to do because it was awful. And basically how it happened was an error popped up on my screen, and it just told me that I needed to reload my page to just make the error go away, and it happens before because I work on Google Docs a lot. So I pressed the reload button, and it just sent me back to my drive, which is the main documents menu, and it just wasn't there anymore. So I basically spent the rest of spring break researching and emailing the Google Text Service people and looking on the internet for ways to do this, and it was just, gone. And that basically sent me into a writer's block, which is when, your brain is really fuzzed up with either too many ideas or no ideas, and it just forces you not to be able to write for a while. And it was bad because I just kept thinking, what if it happens again? And now I'm definitely not going to be able to do it by the end of the year, because this was near the end of the year and the end of the project. So it basically took me a week to start on my new book. So what I learned in the 20% project. I think the 20% project was supposed to teach people about helping others, because that's what you were supposed to do. It was basically the only restriction of the project. But I didn't really get to that point in my project yet. So it taught me something different. It taught me that life's going to happen, and it's going to be awful, and it's going to test your will to go on. And if you just stop and you say, this is too hard, I give up, then whatever you were doing, the project or the activity or whatever, it just wasn't worth your doing in the first place, because you have to have some way of saying, I'm definitely going to do this, and I believe in myself. And you basically just got to push through it, even if it happens. You got to start over, and you got to finish it, and you got to be like, life, I beat you. You got to just do it. And so I'm still working. I'm not done yet because I had to start over. And so I'll probably work on it over the summer, and I'll finish it. And I promise you, you will see my book on the rack.